He is an Academy Award-winning director who hits the big studios and yet can only make humongous blockbusters. James Cameron seamlessly fuses the future of technology with the history of spirituality. He set a titanic world record and then broke it with a new Avatar. Oscar or no Oscar, he is the biggest director in the world and he's on my couch. It doesn't get hotter than this. Jim, Mr. James Cameron, in other words, thank you very much for being on the couch with me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
What does the word avatar mean to you? Because it is a Hindu word for us also.
Of course. And of course we don't even pronounce it correctly in the West.
How do you pronounce it?
Well, I pronounce it avatar like everybody else does, but I believe it's pronounced more like avatar.
Avatar, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And, you know, I mean, I understand the sort of the traditional roots of the word, which is that it's the descent or the incarnation of a divine being in the flesh. And of course that was the significance in the film, even though the characters are not divine beings, of course, but the idea that they take flesh in another body. And you know, avatar is a term that's now widely in use, as we all know, in cyberspace, Second Life, and things like that. So it's very similar in the sense that people are able to project themselves into a surrogate form, an alter ego, if you will.
So how much of the Hindu philosophy, since you actually know a lot about this word and where it comes from, etc., how much of the actual Hindu philosophy is in your film? Because for me, and this is open to interpretation, a lot of the tree of souls and a lot of the spirituality actually rang true from Hinduism.
Good,
you know?
good. Well, you know, look, I'm not a practicing Hindu. I'm certainly familiar with a lot of the beliefs of the Hindu religion, and I find it quite fascinating. I tried to make a film that would touch people's spirituality across a broad spectrum. It wasn't specifically trying to say something to Christians or specifically to Jews or specifically to Hindus, but I think we all have this kind of collective unconscious where we go maybe in our dreams or in our spiritual life, and I think that's where the film really sort of connects across cultural boundaries.
So it's definitely sort of open to self-interpretation.
Yes, exactly. And everybody sees the film through their own lens of their life and their reality, and that's why I've had so many people come forward and say, oh, the things that are happening in that film are happening to my people here or there, especially
in
indigenous
Brazil,
groups.
in India,
yes, exactly,
yes,
exactly. It's here in India, and you know, it's raised my consciousness a lot to find out about all these situations that are happening in the world where people say that's happening to us right now.
Well, another little vignette of knowledge or whatever would be that Hinduism is actually one of the only religions that is non-dogmatic and is a self-interpreting religion for everyone. But that aside,
and of course the blue skin
yes,
color.
the whole you know, avatar of Vishnu and Krishna. Is that intentional or a happy accident for us?
Well, look, I've always been fascinated by the entire Hindu pantheon. You know, all these amazing, you know, mythic beings and the color, the visual look. I'm an artist. I paint. I draw. I actually debated even having the characters have multiple limbs, but I thought that might be a little bit too specific, you know, and not as open.
So it's definitely visually coming from one of those icons,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.